about the power of you. You will change the world.
You're listening to the Chronicles of Living podcast.
Do the damn thing.
Where we talk to visionary dreamers like you about living their best life.
Fulfill the highest, truest expression of yourself.
It's time to step into the past, present, and future with an open and healthy mind. Now let's talk.
Greetings, my visionary dreamers. How is everybody doing on Let's Talk Sunday? I just want to start off by saying I love you guys. I love all of y'all, my veterans, my newcomers. I just love y'all, and I welcome y'all to the show. If for the first time you're listening, this is ADionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, the world, some real bullshit, y'all. And you are listening to Chronicles of Livin podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. You know us extraordinary folk. We just do the damn thing the best way we can. And guys, I just want to start the show off by saying, look at the title. The title is Communication is the Key to Change. But look at the number of the episode. 200. 200. I'm just, to be honest, y'all, I really did plan to do something for the 200, is that a word, episode, but work just became overwhelming, and so therefore, I'm going to have to put something together later on, but, guys, this is episode 200, and so communication is key. This platform is about communication. You know what I mean? I'm communicating with you right now and sharing with you words of wisdom, knowledge, discernment, empowerment, things of that nature. Every week, that is my goal, to share with you words that encourage you and that can motivate you to become the best version of you. That is the reason for this platform. So this topic, it just came to me. So, I'm just going with the flow, with the way Spirit wanted to go. But I believe it came to me because earlier today, along with a couple other things I want to talk about. But earlier today, this video came across my queue. And it was a video of Oprah Winfrey. And she was interviewing this lady named Dr. Edith Eger. And Dr. Edith Eger, she's a native of Hungarian. She's a Hungarian, let's say it that way. And she is a survivor of the Holocaust, if you know anything about the Holocaust. And I think that the reason why Spirit kind of brought this across my queue, because it's always something random, is to encourage you guys in the midst of what we're going through right now, and to, make you guys look at the way you're communicating with self. Yes, I said in the description that communication is key, and who we meet throughout life, the way we communicate with them is what's really going to determine our relationship with them. The length of our relationship, or the way our relationship is formed. Let's say it that way, rather it be, a long-term friend, short-term friend, associate, a partnership, or intimate relationship, things of that nature. As you realize, all of that has to do with communication, the way you communicate. The definition of communication is the act of communication, transmission, exchange of thoughts, messages, information, the way we speak, our speech, our signals, our writing, our behavior, the way we behave in alone is a form of communication. We don't realize that, the way I know when I was taking some courses online and wanting to finish my business degree, international business degree, the one things I was learning, some of the things that I was learning was the way we communicate through our behavior, our gestures, even our movement. When we go to different countries, some of the things that we do in the United States is just something that's just a simple gesture, like a hand gesture. Whether we cross our legs or we fold our arms. But if we go to another country, another culture, they can take that as a form of disrespect. That's how deep communication is, guys. And, we think that just our words is a form of communication when in reality, everything about us is a form of communication. The way we look at a person, if we are talking to someone and we're looking them in the eyes, we have eye-to-eye contact with that person. You're giving a person eye-to-eye contact, then that's a form of showing that you are a confident person and you are, you believe what you say. You are really involved with what you are communicating with them through your eye contact. It's confidence. But when you're communicating with someone and you're talking with them and they just can't look you in the eyes or they just keep looking away, on that note, that can mean that one, maybe they could be shy, or maybe they can be, their confidence level can be none, or maybe they're intimidated by you. It's just so many different ways. We never think about these things, guys. We got to start thinking about these things, The reason why I brought up Dr. Eger is because in the Holocaust, if you don't know, basically, that was under Hitler. And I like you guys, I like to challenge you guys to do your own research. But just in summary, basically, Hitler killed a lot of Jews, just basically separated the parents from the kids and things of that nature and just killed, a whole slew of folk. And she was a survivor. And now at the age of 90, she wrote her first book. 90, guys. 90. I believe this is why God brought this across my queue before the show and just before I took a little nap, and it just is so many different ways I can go with just that alone in a way of encouraging you. This woman was 90. She survived the Holocaust, which means that she lived through it. She went through the torture. She went through losing. She watched her parents. She watched them take her parents away and kill them. You know what I mean? She didn't see how they killed them, but they told her that, her mom was going for a shower and she never saw them again. And she had two other sisters, they were separated, but later on they were able to come back together. But dig this. The way she survived when they found her, the U.S. troops found her. One of the troops found her under a bunch of dead bodies, guys. And at the time that they found her, she had a broken back. She had pneumonia. All of this other stuff, all these other elements. It's like, I think it was like 5 different elements that really she should have been dead. You know what I mean? She didn't eat for 2 whole weeks before she was found. They didn't feed them for 2 whole weeks, guys. And I like to share stories like this because, one, it allows you to look at your situation that you're in. And when you think that you're at the end of your rope and you think that the world is crumbling down on you, you think that you are just going through the most, you could look at stories like this and know that no, you're not. And this is not to downplay whatever it is that you're going through, not by any means. But this is to give you hope, to know that there are other people out there in this world that has survived way worse situations and made it through and then took their pain and turned it into joy and turned it into celebration and triumph to show you that you too can make it through. I talked last week on the show. If you listened to the show last week, I remember saying clearly that whatever it is, or it could have been a week before, whatever it is that has been your downfalls, I don't remember how I framed it, but basically I said, whatever your downfalls were, whatever your trauma was, whatever your so-called situation that you was in, rather you were, on drugs at some time in your life, or, you were just that thing that everybody thought was the worst. You know what I mean? Or something happened to you that was just so bad that people judged you over it. Or you did something that you felt or others felt that was so bad that, you know what I mean? You were judged for it. Or you even judged yourself, that you was ashamed of it. This woman is the light that we can look at, that God has allowed to shine, that we could look at and say, anything is possible. You can recover. You can recover from anything. Because you know why? She shared that the way she was able to survive mentally after the fact, you know what I'm saying? Once they found her and she was in a hospital and they got her, helped her to regain herself, her physical self. Let's say that. The way she was able to survive mentally through all that torment and that torture was because her mother told her, when they had grouped them all up and put them on a, train or whatever that was, I can't remember. Her mother told her that basically no matter what, she has control over, what she thinks and her thoughts and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? She has that control over how she feels about herself, in other words. No one can take that from her. She has the control over her spirit. No one can take that from her. But in other words, only way she can lose that control is if she gives it away. In whichever way she chooses to give it away. You know what I'm saying? If she gives it away to other people's form of judgment, other people's opinions, other people things that they tell her that she is. This woman is now 91 and she's putting out her second book. The first book is called The Choice. The second book is called The Gift. Y'all need to go seek that out. And I looked it up and it's on audio version too. So go on YouTube, and if you don't got time to read, while you driving in your car, maybe you can listen to The Choice by Edith Eger, Dr. Edith Eger. This woman took her pain and basically kind of turned it into love. She moved, got her husband, her and her husband wound up moving to the United States. This woman went and got all her degrees on up to her doctorate degree in psychology to help victims, trauma victims. So she took her pain. Just like I was telling y'all last week, it's deep that, I just love when God confirms some of the things that that I speak to y'all. But again, like I say, I always pray for God to come through me to give y'all a word. That is not me giving y'all the word, but is spirit, is the universe coming through me and giving y'all whatever words of encouragement that y'all need. But she turned her pain into a platform and a teaching platform to others. And on top of that, throughout this, because it was the Germans that treated them so bad and the Germans that killed them, not all the Germans, of course, but that was the group that pretty much killed, the Jews. And she wound up in the course of this having to deal with German clients. Now, That could have went a couple of ways. And when I'm talking about communication, guys, she was faced with a German at one point that was talking about how they wanted to still in this day that their mission basically is they wanted to kill the Jews and they wanted to kill the blacks and all of that whole bit. And at that time, she had the choice in how she was going to communicate back, how she was going to react, and how she was going to respond back to this man because of her trauma, her past trauma. She had the choice. And I spoke about this just last week, I think it was, that you have a choice on how you respond to people. And it could have been in a TV show. I don't know. I'm going from a TV show to the podcast show. I don't know. But we all have the choice in how we respond through communication. When people hurt us, when people say words to us that is meant to hurt us, we have the power over how we communicate back, how we respond back, how we react. And she said that she pretty much had to, of course, she consulted with God. And that's what has allowed her to keep her peace. But her whole mission is to help people find the peace within themselves. Because the thing is, once you find a peace within yourself, you don't need other people or things, materialistic things or money to make you feel like you're worthy, to fill in the void. See, a lot of folk out here, and at one point in my life, it was me too. We chase other things to fill in the void, to allow us to feel like we're important, allow us to feel loved, allow us to feel that we're making a difference, allowing us to feel like people can see us. We go after the material or the money or people to help us to heal wounds, when all along it is up to us to communicate with ourselves to help us to heal our own wounds. No one else is responsible for that. That's where we get it twisted. We put the responsibility on other people. Now, communication is key in that form, and where when you do have things that's heavy on you, you definitely find someone that in your heart, in your heart. And I say in your heart and in your spirit, not because you're just connected with that person, that person or whatever, but you feel it in your heart and your spirit that you can communicate with that person what you're going through. And they can be an ear to listen and to help you to kind of see your words. And to help you to put your words in a format of healing. Let's say it that way. And I say that because, I do energy healing and I do bioscans and then body bioscans, and I do card readings from time to time. And this week, what was consistent with my clientele was the communication with themselves. I would say it that way. It was like consistent this week that my clients were struggling, and it showed in their bioscan first and then through their readings, their card readings, that their communication with themselves is totally off balance. And see, when your communication with yourself is off balance, that means it starts to seep into your health. We don't realize that. Your emotions, your communication is connected to your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, your attitude. Guys, if you're communicating with yourself that you're not worthy, if you're communicating with yourself that the trauma, any type of trauma, any level of trauma that you have been through in your life, that is the cause of your life going the way it's going, and that your life is never going to be a good life, or your life is never going to change, or your connection with people are never going to change in a good way. If that's what you're communicating every day, then that's what you're going to receive. Basically, if you have here a woman that's now 91, not only the fact that she has written her first book and now on her second book, and releasing her second book, but remember, I'm saying she's 91. You have so many people out here that is in my age, 50s, 60s, or 70s, 80s, that are communicating with themselves. I'm old. I'm too old to do anything. I'm too old to pursue my dreams and my visions and my goals. That's what they're communicating with themselves. We look at age, that number, as, oh, well, it's over now. It's over. You know what I mean? What's the point? That's a form of communication that we're triggering within us, within our being, within our spirit and our soul. And that form of communication is what causes us to wither away. It's what causes us to lose hope. What causes us to give up, guys. Now, if you notice, if you've been following the podcast show these last couple weeks, I've been taking little snippets of the TV show, ADionne, Your Dream Pusher, and putting little conversations in there. Well, this week, for some reason, one, I had to take a nap because I was literally drained. And when I woke up for the technical difficulties, let's say that, where I couldn't really pull the TV show like I wanted to and turn it into audio, because it's a whole process, and then upload it and stuff, it just wasn't working out. I don't know why, but I took that as a form of communication that this week just wasn't the week to do that, but this week was the week to come on here and have one of those good old talks with y'all, like the way I started off. I just really go with the way spirit moves me. And I always pray that on the receiving end, you receive the message the way it's intended for your growth, I'm so inspired. I'm seriously so inspired. And when you hear stories like Dr. Edith Eger story, it's like, how can you freaking complain? Seriously, how can you complain about anything the way the world is right now? How can you complain? This lady survived. She was under dead bodies with a broken back. She's walking, she's talking, she's very much in her right mind. She's still practicing psychology at 91. At 91, she's still helping people that have been through trauma to help them to heal. Oh, and I think I didn't finish talking about when she was dealing with the German that was talking about how he wanted to kill the Jews. He didn't know that she was a Jew. He didn't know who she was. Again, so careful with your communication. But yet, she made the choice to help him to heal. Man. She took herself out of the equation. She didn't let this man know that she lost her parents from Jews. The Germans killed her parents. And yet this was a German sitting in front of her and still talking in that same sense. Why? Why? Because obviously he came from ancestors that continued to teach him those same beliefs, that he was empowered and that he was better than the Jews and the blacks. You get what I'm saying? So in this time that we're in with the whole Black Lives Matter thing going on, but yet we had this whole pandemic, you know what I'm saying? I ask y'all, I request y'all, and I pray that y'all do not look at the other races or ethnic backgrounds as the enemy or as someone that can hurt you. You have the choice to communicate back to every person that you meet, rather they come at you with hate. You have the choice to to show them love. Because this is the thing. God didn't allow her to live to 91 for nothing. To keep her health, to keep her mind right. The reason why she's still walking this earth and the reason why she's able to pump out those books is because she is following her purpose in this time-space reality. She used her pain to help other people to gain. That's some deep stuff. She took herself out of the equation and she's following her purpose and her mission in this time, space, and reality. And that is the reason why God in the universe is allowing her to still exist, to still have the mental capacity, the health, and the spiritual, and the soul to want to help others that have been through trauma in different ways, to want to help others to heal as she has healed. Now, she admitted that, wow, she has gained so much and she's fought through so much, and she's now went through college and gained all these degrees, and she's now a psychologist and she's helping other people to heal. She admit that she still has the traumas. She still, every now and then, things trigger her to the flashback. You know, she said that she was walking on a cobblestone one day and it took her right back to when she was a child. And when she was walking with her friends, and the Germans were other kids were like basically tormenting her and calling her out her name and all of this stuff, you know. And what she was saying, how she just felt sorry that, you know, that their parents would teach their kids to feel, in other words, that they were better than other people. And this is what we're faced with, guys. Parents in generations teach you how to think, teach you how to act, how to react to other people, to situations. That's what we learn. But as her mother told her, as Dr. Eager mother told her, you are in charge of your thoughts. Basically, you are in charge of your spirit and how you want that to reflect for yourself and to the world. Yes, we have no control when we're little kids and what we're taught, how we, our environment and how we see people reacting and their attitudes and things of that nature. We have no choice as a kid. But as a young adult and as an older adult, we have every choice. We have the power to think the way we want to think, to react the way we want to react to other people's communication. Again, that is their words, their behavior, their attitude, their information that they give to us. We have that power over ourselves, you know? A lot of times as individuals, we assume things. We assume. And a lot of times because we assume, we lose out. We lose out on opportunities. We lose out on relationships. We lose out on our purpose. Let's say that. Because if you're assuming that, you know, like say you're following your dreams and your visions, you know, and you would love to do business with someone, but because you might feel down on yourself, you might feel like you're not enough, you might feel like you're not of status as that person that you want to do business with, because that person you want to do business with, in your eyes, and I say it in this way, they're doing so good, because we never know what's behind the curtain. You know what I mean? We could look at someone and because they materialistically look like they're doing good, we think that they're doing good. When in all actuality, that's just their communication to the world That's their way of communicating to the world, showing through materialistic. But behind the scenes, they could be a whole mess. They can just be, have low self-esteem and all kinds of stuff. But because visually we see the picture painted so perfectly, we think that, oh, I want to be like that person. Or I wish my business can take off like that person's business. Or I wish that my dreams would take off the way that person's dream is taking off. When we don't even know what they're doing to get that dream, or what they had to, endure for that dream to become a reality. That's why we got to learn to stay in our lane, guys. And we got to learn to believe in ourselves. We have to learn to believe in ourselves, guys. We have to stop reaching outward to people, to vices, to things to comfort us. You get what I'm saying? Rather that's, sex, drugs, money, materialistic things, other people acknowledging us. We got to stop looking outward and look inward. And know that we are worthy. We are okay. We got to start communicating with ourselves and checking with ourselves on a daily basis. Checking in with ourselves. I believe I have a podcast somewhere along down the line that talks about checking in with yourself. Have you looked in the mirror lately? But I know it was another show that was on that basis too. It's basically talking about when's the last time you checked in with yourself? When the last time you looked at yourself? And that's what, as my clients, I was sharing with them, basically, checking with yourself, yo. Start writing down, what is it that's causing you to feel the way you feel? Get a book, get a composition book out, writing out your thoughts. That's all a part of journaling. That's all a part of you progressing and turning into that person that you admire. Let's say that. Admire your damn self. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Stop looking at other people and start admiring you. Start admiring you for getting up every morning and knowing that you have a new start, a new beginning at life, to let that day be the way you want it to be. And when things don't flow your way, you still have the power to react and to respond in a way that will still keep your energy intact. The thing that some of my clients ask me is, how do I do it? Because I share different stories with them and they're like, how do you do it? How do you maintain a level of laughter and of happiness and of, you get what I'm saying, and a belief and things of that nature? Somebody told me they was listening to my podcast show and they was like, because they just learned about it and they've been listening, binge listening, and they were like, I just kept saying to myself, yo, and she's still at it. And she's still getting back up. In the midst of all the downfalls, all the hiccups that has, that I endured along the way. When you really listen to all my podcast shows, you will learn a lot about me. And how I'm just still going. This is 3 years strong of me doing this podcast show. I'm 200 episodes in the midst of everything that I've been enduring throughout my life, my personal life, my ups and my downs, my feelings changing and, just stuff, y'all, stuff. I get it. But I just believe that God wanted me to come on here today and have that good old just talk with y'all, because I am at episode 200. And I can remember being at episode 1 and wondering how long, was this show going to go. But I got control over it. I have control over this show. I'm not dependent on nobody. You know what I'm saying? The show goes the way I want it to go, despite everybody else's opinions. People tell me, you should do this and you should do that. Even with the TV show. Oh, you should do this and you should do that. But guess what, guys? I'm always open to suggestions. But at the end of the day, it's the TV show and the podcast show that the universe and God put on my heart to do. So that's who I consult with first. You know what I'm saying? Then I consult with me, you know? So that's what you got to learn to do, guys. Because when you start listening to so many different opinions, so many different people's, you know what I'm saying, how you should do things, that's what confuses you. Communicate with yourself first. Communicate with the universe. Communicate with God to show you whoever it is, your highest, self, the higher being that you have faith in. Communicate to ask them and request that they show you. They give you clear signs and show you the direction or the way you need to communicate with people, with yourself, what you need to change about it. And that's where the word change comes in. Communication is key. It's the key to change. Because when you learn how to communicate in the right way and you're willing to learn how to communicate in the right way with yourself, with people, and with the universe, with God, that's when you'll start seeing the change. Little by little. But you got to be patient with yourself and with your dreams and your visions. You got to be patient, guys. I know it's tough. It's challenging. Nobody knows better than me the challenge of patience. Trust and believe. But it works. It works, guys. So I'm just going to leave y'all with that. No song today because, like I said, technical difficulties. But that was a form of communication from the universe for me. Because I didn't even peep that it was episode 200. So sometimes you got to go back to the old school, So with all that being said, guys, I just want to thank you. And wherever you're listening to the show, please like, share, follow, rate it. It's on all these different platforms. So other people can get the message that it would really benefit, that it can encourage you guys. Because if it encouraged you, it can encourage someone else. So let that be your thing and your way of communicating with someone you love or someone that need a leg up or some uplifting. Okay, guys, share the show. Comment wherever you can. I love you guys. And thank you for supporting, my books, Visionary Dreamer, 90-Day Journal, Transform Your Life, Discover Your Purpose, available on Amazon.com. Just put in Amazon, the book section, April, ADionne, ADionne, Williams, and the book should come up. Okay, guys? And, check out the YouTube channel, Chronicles of Livin, without the G, Livin, the YouTube channel, because that's where the TV shows, ADionne, Your Dream Pusher, that's where they are, guys. I'm on episode 4. I just uploaded episode 4. I'm just like in awe as into how the universe is just opening up the doors, and there's so much more to come, guys. So let me be the encouragement. If you need any encouragement and you don't have nobody else around you that's, moving their life forward, then just come to my podcast shows, go to the YouTube channel, and just look and see that no matter how many views, how many subscribers or whatever, I'm still going, and I'm going strong, and I'm going to always share with y'all. And I'm going to always come at y'all with some words of encouragement and love and motivation. That's who I am. That's my purpose in life. So with all that being said, communicate with yourself. Communicate with others. First, go to God and how you need to communicate if you need to change the way you communicate so that you can get the results that you desire. How about that? I'll leave y'all with that. So, this is ADionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, the world. Some real bull, guys. And you are listening to Chronicles of Livin podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. Us extraordinary folk doing the damn thing the best way we can. I love you guys. Make it a great one this week, today, in the future. I love you guys. Peace.
The Chronicles of Livin.
We can be whatever we dream.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Chronicles of Livin podcast, where you find only the highest vibrations. Remember, you are extraordinary. And if you're pursuing your dreams, we're proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live.
Something better is always possible if you're willing to work for it and fight for it.
Stay updated with ADionne by visiting chroniclesoflivin.com or stay connected through social media by following @Chronicles of Livin. Until next time, your dream pusher, ADionne.